6 o'clock. Thursday, May 8th, all this regular city council meeting to order. Please stand with my allegiance. I pledge allegiance. Roll call. Start this in. Tom Miller. Adam Hand.
Nikki Harden.
And
Nikki
Mary
Wood.
Wood is that.
She's
Okay, there you are.
hear me? Can you hear me?
We heard you.
I don't know if there's anything we can do on our side.
Okay. Changes to the agenda. Bunch of them. I'm going to propose we remove number 8, item A, B, and C to be discussed later at a work session. Also, old business items 9 through 13. Under new business.
Sorry, I didn't know if you were done yet. One of those items didn't belong in business. Number 11
Okay,
or old business, I'm sorry.
it doesn't belong in old business, you said?
Yeah, it's the expenditure appropriation transfer. Oh, no, never mind. Never mind. She moved it. We're fine. Sorry, Tom.
Okay. So 9 through 13 will remove for as a work session. Item 15, because there's some discussion on it in a second part. Item 22. You get them.
I don't need to pull the items mentioned on a work session.
Councilor Pointer made a motion, seconded by Councilor Harden. Any discussion? Take vote. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, unanimous. So I get a motion to approve the amended agenda.
I'll move to approve the amended agenda.
Have a motion made by Councilor Hand to approve the agenda, seconded by Councilor Pointer. Any more discussion? Votes, all in favor?
Aye.
Okay. Motion passes unanimous. Item 6, consent agenda, financial staff reports. Chance to look at that.
I'd like to remove item 6A from the consent agenda. I have a couple questions.
Okay. Go ahead, Nikki.
Okay. Sorry, I'm pulling it up right now. There was a transaction on the bill payment list for US Bank for $117,706. I was just wondering what that was about.
Yeah, it's for the wastewater, the original wastewater plant loan.
Oh, okay.
I think it's a principal payment. Is that what it is? Mr. Edwards?
What?
Was it is that the principal? Oh, debt services for the wastewater plant, the original one.
Okay, I also have the $13,577 to DEQ. Was that for the wastewater permit that was in
Yes.
March? Okay,
Could you hear?
my questions.
And I had asked already to, for their clean cut landscape maintenance for the $3,800 one, because up above is the normal maintenance, and you said you were gonna check on it.
Yeah, I'll check, because I'm not sure. I thought we were,
They don't mow the airport,
no,
so that's just large.
it is just a large amount, yes, and I'll find out what it was for.
That payment to US Bank, is that like a quarterly payment or something like that? Can't imagine
I think it's yearly.
yearly,
Mhm.
okay.
I think there's two payments to US Bank. One of them will be the 117 now, and then there'll be another one for the interest, I
Okay.
believe.
So I lost track of where we were. Yeah, we had a motion, correct?
Well,
Yes.
withdraw my.
Okay. So we will put that aside till we find out. Just to our questions.
Okay.
And that I have mentioned previously before we came is that we can have a different format for this because I can't. Because with a magnifying glass and a ruler, it's hard. So it says that they would get credit and doing more.
Yeah, I spoke to, our volunteer, and he's said he would help us set up the screens to make us to have a bigger font. And if, he's unavailable, then I'll talk to the, CPA and see if somebody can come down and help because we just now started with the online QuickBooks, and so it's completely different than desktop. And so, we're having a little, we're having a little bit of a hard time maneuvering, but we'll get it. And if we need training, I'll ask for it.
And then if we have an extra budget to actual, because we don't know what the budget is on these figures, so we don't know where we're at.
Okay.
We do have to keep in mind that Michelle's been gone sick all week long. Sharon's been by herself, and there have been people coming down to help, which is greatly appreciated. Whoever's been
Yep.
volunteering. Okay, on to item 6B. Staff reports. Wastewater. Would you like me to read that?
If we can read it into the record, or do you? Yes, I guess.
Just, yeah, okay.
And we'll do it, we can do two staff reports, wastewater and.
Second that.
Okay, we have a motion to approve the staff reports by Councilor Pointer, seconded by Councilor Hand. Any more discussion? All in favor? Aye. All opposed?
Aye.
None opposed? Motion passes. Citizen comments. First up, Sarah Code.
Hello, Sarah Coe, Lakeside resident, Lakeside Planning Commission Chair. I promise to keep this short. So Madam Mayor and Council, on April 25th, at the last planning commission meeting, it was a quasi judicial trial. Councilor Rob Ward came to speak in opposition of the citizens who are seeking a variance. Oh, this is nervous. One, Rob does not reside within 500 feet of the property that was in question, but at the other end of the town, the variance being sought did not affect him. Note 2, at the beginning of the trial, I have set a 3-minute speaking limit, which applied to everyone. I'm not breath already. At the 6-minute mark, I asked Councilor Rob to please wrap it up. He stated that he believed I, as chair, could not lawfully do so and proceeded to speak for a total of 26 minutes. Note 3, Rob, every time he stated the word staff, would glance at Sharon in a negative way that upset her. Note 4, when Commissioner Charlene Higgins asked why Rob thought he needed to speak, since the variance did not pertain to him, he stated that he believed the staff, meaning Sharon and the city planner Henry, were not doing the job correctly. Note 5, halfway through the trial, when it was time for rebuttal, he simply slinked out and did not stay to be asked any questions by the commission or the citizens that he spoke against, then wrote a letter to Sharon afterwards claiming that since he missed the last half of the trial, that it did not occur and did not finish correctly. I always get nervous seeing this, guys, sorry. I have provided written proof by our city planner, Henry, and a statement from the city attorney, along with my own due diligence to state it is inappropriate for a council member to speak during these trials. He may attend, and in fact, all council may attend, but not engage for the simple fact that if a planning matter ever came before the council or for an appeal, and a council member had been there speaking, that the council member does not, member not has a bias and a conflict of interest in the matter and may be held accountable for swaying the other council members. And that came directly from the LUBA when I inquired, I think. Without a city manager, I, the planning chair, have been working with both Sharon and Henry so that we may continue to operate without the proper staff, just like I'm sure the city council has been as well with the city attorney. I just find the lack of decorum by the counselor for the past 2 commission meetings, because the first one, he sent us a letter. I find it unacceptable because I would not do the same to the council as a former counselor. Rob is no longer in the planning department nor a commissioner, and he needs to behave like a city councilor and have trusted me as the chair and our staff that was appointed by the council. And I have asked Sharon to hand out the statements from Henry, the city attorney, and my findings from was it the DLC?
ELCD.
Yes. And that's all I need to say.
Thanks, Eric. Linda Sharon?
Sharon. I'd like to discuss some observations regarding our present budget process. I am currently the chair of the budget committee. The official budget process started after the resignation of the city and the city council voting to put the city recording manager on paid administrative leave at the last city council meeting in April. This was a week and a half before our first scheduled meeting. At that meeting, Peggy Dickinson volunteered to be the budget officer responsible for producing a budget. When the current city recording manager returned the city laptop the next day, it was discovered there was no budget on it. Peggy spent the last 3.5 weeks producing a city budget, at first with only the first 6 months of info to work with. With the assistance of Sharon and Michelle, more info was required, so she had more numbers to create a near balanced budget. The process has shown areas that I feel the council needs to address in the future. 1, do you need a city manager or a city recorder? The city has not done well under a manager for the past 10 years. A qualified recorder could save the city up to $25,000 a year. 2, hire someone who knows how to do a budget and do the job. Do background checks or at least call their previous employer. 3, council needs to take back control. Several contracted services were canceled with new ones started at greater cost to the city without council approval due to the personal contract they had allowing this, that the contract was actually the city recorder's contract. 4, do not have a city manager contract. It's not required and it has put the city in a hole with payouts. The last 3 contracts have benefited the employee more and given them more authority that has not benefited the city. 5, Do not hire someone at the highest rate. They need to show they can do the job and earn the higher rate. Evaluate new hire monthly. Assess if they are doing the job, explain the council expectations, and give them a chance to improve or change behavior. If they can't, cut them loose and reevaluate your hiring process. 7, health insurance costs must be addressed. With a 9% increase in health insurance, along with an increase in PERS from 6% to 23%, has put a strain on the city budget. 8, monthly bills and salaries must be reviewed and approved by the city council at monthly meetings. I see it's on the agenda this time. I have not seen it on the agenda for months. Question if necessary. Salaried employees are salaried exempt and do not get overtime. 9, when the council requests that forms be retyped before voting or items be passed to the next month meeting with new info, it needs to show up on the next month agenda and not ignored. Several forms have still not been retyped and presented to the council. The budget process this year is going to be successful because of the work of Peggy, Sharon, and Michelle acquiring the information she needed. This should not have happened if we had a qualified person in the front office. Every city council meeting I attended, I heard the city recorder manager state how busy they were on the budget. I have my doubts about those statements. Thank you, Peggy, for all of your hard work. Oh, sorry. Now the council needs to step up and figure out how we go forward to hire a competent office staff, be it a manager or a city recorder. I encourage you to not make the same mistake over again.
David Gruber.
Good evening. For those of you that don't know me, my name is Dave Rover. I'm the owner of the Lakeshore Lodge. I appreciate the opportunity to come and speak with you tonight about an issue that directly affects not only my business, but the broader health of our community. The transient lodging tax and the importance of continuing to support and continue to support the businesses that drive tourism in our city. The transient tax is a powerful tool for Lakeside. It brings in much needed revenue that helps the city fund city services, community projects, infrastructures, without raising taxes on our local. This tax is paid by visitors who choose to stay and spend money here, and it works only because we have businesses like motels, vacation rentals, and RV parks to welcome them. But that system depends on a strong tourism economy. If we start limiting the ability of these businesses to attract and serve our tourists, whether through restrictions, reduced promotion, or lack of support, we risk cutting off that very intimate powers that revenue stream. Tourists won't come if there's nowhere to stay, or if the experience doesn't meet their expectations. Supporting our local lodging businesses isn't a favor, it's an investment in Lakeside future. Every guest we host at the lodge spends money in local restaurants, shops, liquor stores, and grocery stores. They explore our lakes, our dunes, our forests, and support events and fall in love with our community. I urge the council to continue backing policies and funding that sustain and grow our tourism economy. When our tourism business succeeds, Lakeside succeeds. If tourism slows in Lakeside, so does that money stream that funds our city. Frankly, you need us and all the businesses to be successful. And we need you guys, we need your support. Tourism funds bring in over 100,000, 25% of the city's operating funds, and we can't jeopardize that by ignoring the importance of promoting our business and city.
Thank you, David. Steve Drummond.
Steve Drummond, husband and I own North Lake RV Resort and a member of the LBO. And I was here to actually support Dave's comments. I heard them last night at the LBO meeting. and we were there for the Experience Lakeside opportunity coming forward. The tourist, tax dollars, our business supports tourism. Those tax dollars would be wonderful to be able to be used in order to help support the events that LBO is in the process of putting together. I saw some of the most exciting energy last night that I have seen in about 3 or 4 years with the effect of what they're trying to bring to Lakeside, which, as Dave mentioned, is excellent for everybody. So I would like to encourage the city council to be able to support it through the tax dollars when it needed funds to put these events on. So it's good for all of us. Thank you.
Susan, you're on the agenda too, so is this a separate, okay, all right.
Yeah, yeah,
Okay, 3 minutes.
okay, Hello there, my name is Susan Holland. I live on South Second Street. I have been a citizen here for 4 years. We have owned property for 97 years. I filed a complaint yesterday against Sharon Barker. Back in 2001, we had a big ordeal back at my place about my fence on my property. There was an ordeal about me putting rock on my property, and it was all settled through a engineer, Don Poyer. I received his engineer survey and the letter from Lori Price stating that I have a no floodplain ordinance, permit. And a few days ago, Sharon Barker came down and confronted my neighbors, Mike and Mitzi, Welch, about, their fence and their tiny homes, which is a separate issue. But she also mentioned to them that my fence had to come down. And I called up her on the phone, and I did have some ugly words with her because I've already fought this fight, and I fought this fight 4 years ago. When I came in to file my complaint, the only police person to give that complaint to was Sharon Barker. So I wanted to make sure that it did get heard and it did get noticed, because here's the paper that she was going to give me, and I had my husband come back to get it. It's a letter from FEMA from 2021. She's still going back to an incident to when she left here and went to Florence. Now, I don't understand why this is an issue again, and I can show each and every one of you the papers that I have to back up my stuff. Thank
If that's all for citizen comment. Oh. We will go to new business. Item 14. Discussion on changing staff salaries from bi-monthly to a monthly with a drop option. That was requested by Councilor Armstrong.
We had previously always been on a monthly salary where it's paid monthly, and with 4 people doing draws. I had talked to the previous CPA, and when the previous council changed it, it had cost to the city. It was what used to be like $1.25 per direct deposit, and that was for 4 people. But when the city went to paying every 2 weeks, 17 employees, it added a cost to the city. Plus, then they raised it from $1.25 to 4 something, I believe. So that's quite a chunk that has gone up. Plus, the past CPA had not charged the city at this time for added payroll, because you have to do the complete PERS, the complete everything, versus just a draw that takes 10 minutes and the 4 people that need it. If more people want it, it doesn't matter, because then you're only doing payroll once a month. I think based upon our finances, we need to save and cut corners wherever we can. And I think that we need to go back to being paid once a month. I have, prior to being on the council, I asked and talked to several employees, and they said they don't care. Once a month is fine with them. If they need a draw, they'll take a draw. So I think we need to look at this, because with this new CPA, it may even cost us more. She may actually start charging us to do the payroll twice a month.
I agree. I'm sorry. I agree, Counselor Armstrong.
Go ahead, Mayor.
I was just saying, I agree with Elaine. That's what it was before, and, you know, it is a more financially feasible option. Do we have to make a resolution, or do you just direct staff to change something like that?
The past council approved it by motion, so I would like to see a motion.
I move that we restore our payroll system to once a month for the draw. Twice a month.
Second.
Okay, motion's been made by Councilor Pointer, seconded by Councilor Harden. Any further discussion?
Yeah, I have one thing. First of all, we used to do it that way. We would get the draw and it worked out fine. I was just curious about the library. Would it still be the same way? Would it be the once a month with the draw?
I would say yes, because they're on the payroll, that they're part of the 17 employees that
Okay,
is costing the city. to do
Okay.
it.
thank you.
And the CPA had said that to do a draw, it takes her 10 minutes. And a direct deposit's done at the end of the month, they just do payroll and minus it. So
Yeah,
it's nothing.
what we did was, you don't get taxed in your, with your draw. And then at the end of the month, you get, that's when your taxes come out. And that's how it was done in the past.
I have a question. Sharon, you contact with our staff much more than we do. Is your general feeling that the staff would be okay with this?
Yeah, they've been talking talking to me about it, or talking around me about it, and I was okay either way. And so the staff that's been around me is okay with it either way. It helps to have a larger check at the end of, or the beginning of the month, because that's when, you know, your big business come out. So it does help.
Thank you.
Any further discussion? Okay, call for votes. In favor?
I
All opposed? Motion passes. Move to item 16, but item 15 is gonna be, was moved from the agenda to be discussed in a work session. Item 16, appointment of library board members. We have two. Barbara Cathy,
They're not going to be
They're
here
not here.
today. No.
Barbara Cathy and Kathy Johnson.
Are these to fill empty spots or turnovers or?
I think that it's sort of, they're on the board, but then they, I guess they have to like
cycling through.
yeah, they're just cycling through, and they have to, they're not new people, and they hold other library board positions in other areas as well.
One's abandoned.
Yeah, and it's paperwork for the board, the main board or whatever that they have. We have to do this every so often, or they have to do it every so often.
Do we just need a motion to approve them?
Call for motion to approve these two board members.
I move that we approve Barbara Kathy and Kathy Larkham Johnston to the Coos County Library Board.
Motion's been made by Counselor Harden, seconded by Counselor Pointer. Any other discussion? Yes. Counselor.
We actually. Request for a letter of support for a county position.
I was just trying to think of what Cheryl told me. She just said we're just appointing them to the board. Once you appoint them, then I forward the approval to Coos County. And they,
It does seem like it's more of a support or.
yeah, it
recommendation,
does.
Appointment to another library, but that's the.
That's what they said to do. When Cheryl brought the applications to me. And so that's what.
Any other discussion? Call for votes, all in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes. Item 17, appointment of planning commission member. We have one, it's like, Tina King. Yes,
Anything in particular?
you would like to?
What?
If you would like to introduce yourself, maybe say a little something if you want to.
I born and raised in Reedsport, just moved back to the area a year ago, bought a house at Frontiera. Some people know me and others don't. Just started listening about, the counselors and mayor sports and planning commission, and it sounded like something I wanted to get involved in. So I thought the planning commission would be a good place to start.
Great.
And just kind of learn as I go.
Great. Thank you. Call for motion.
I'll move to appoint Tina King to the planning commission.
Motion is made by Councilor Hand and seconded by Councilor Ward. Any other discussion?
I assume this is still in an empty spot currently.
Yes. And now we'll have a full house. Full roster.
How long has he been working for?
Oh, I don't know. I think it's at least 2 years. Yeah, wait. Yeah, because it was yeah. We'll find it.
Okay, call for vote. All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Motion passes. Thank you. Well done. Item 18. Resolution 2025-09, resolution designating authorized parties to sign drafts on the website account with Umpqua Bank. Could you tell us a little bit about that, Sharon, please?
Oh, with the departure of our city manager, we needed somebody else to be on the bank account. And it's more or less just to get like order more checks or get a credit card or different things like that. I don't think I'd be signing anything other than that, but when you call the bank, they have to have somebody who has been authorized to make these transactions. And so right now we've been at a standstill because there isn't anybody to talk to the people, and there's some things that we do need. So, yeah.
Yes, I'm looking for the resolution.
I think it, Oh,
Katie,
Should we read the resolution?
just found it. Councilor Armstrong found it. for me. Resolution 2025-09, a resolution designating authorized parties to sign draft on the city of Lakeside checking account with Umpqua Bank. Whereas 2 signatures are required on orders for payment or withdrawal from the city checking account, and whereas city manager Kristen Miller's term ended, and whereas the Lakeside City Council wishes to remove Kristen Miller from all banking authorizations, and whereas the Lakeside City Council wishes to add Nikki Wood and Sharon Barker as authorized signers on the Umpqua Bank account. Now therefore be it resolved that Alan Pointer, Tom Miller, Nikki Wood, and Sharon Barker are hereby designated as parties authorized to sign on behalf of the city on orders for payment or withdrawal from the city checking account.
I have a question, Sharon.
yes.
Yes,
If I may, would the resolution number need to be changed? Because I don't think we're at number 9 yet.
Well, I can double check. I worked and that's the number that I came up with by
Okay.
put everything in the book and, thinking I probably changed it back and forth, and that's what I finally came up with, that's like I put blanks in the book and I did all kinds of things to make sure that it was 9. But I'll,
Okay.
of course, I'll check again.
Okay, no worries.
I'll move that we accept resolution 2509, adding Nikki Wood and Sharon Barker as signers on the account.
One second.
motion made by Councilor Hand and seconded by Councilor
Perfect.
Harden. Any further discussion?
I'll modify the motion. I move that we remove Krista Miller as a signer on the account, then adding Nikki Wood and Sharon Barker as signers on the account.
So, being restated as. And seconded by Councilor Harden. Any more discussion?
Doesn't adopt the want to get that in a minute. But then we still have to be rested.
What if I would draw mine and you help us get the proper motion?
I think your motion's fine.
Okay, what are you asking? I'm sorry.
I'm saying we can, and we can vote on that too. But then we still have to request.
I don't understand what. Should the vote have been should be restated as to adopt?
I don't know if this. This is not
We used, this was a template from them, and it was from a past resolution, and so we just did this
I
and
don't
changed the
know
numbers.
other organizations. But their intent, their minutes, they'll usually take. Minutes. But if we need a resolution, that's fine too. We just need to vote on approving a resolution. Right?
Yes.
A specific resolution. You want to amend again, or just vote on this and everybody, if it votes no, then you just do it.
I'm happy to restate the motion if that's what we're doing.
So, what's been pointed out has to be amended such that fifth paragraph. Includes instruction. Okay, misunderstood your motion. I heard you saying that your motion was to add particular people. Fine. Mention.
I will restate my motion. Sorry. I move to accept resolution 2509. Removing Krista Miller from the bank account as a signer and adding Nikki Wood and Sharon Barker to said account as signers. Along with Alan Pointer, Tom Miller.
And I'll second it.
Anybody second that? New one?
I will.
Okay. Yeah. Motion's been made by Counselor Hand and seconded by Counselor Harden to adopt resolution 202509. Any more discussion? All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay. Motion carries. Okay. Item 19, new business. Discuss state fire marshal fireworks display permit and ask for volunteer event organizer.
They're asking for a signature. On
Fire marshal.
the fire marshal is asking for a signature from us. The fire chief brought this over for us to, I thought there was another, to sign. And then, and get it back to the, I'll, give it back to the fire chief. And then he will take it to, and get it to the, fire authority or the, whoever he needs to take it back to.
And also, I think the second part of this is, or I think even since last year, we really need someone to step up since John Reese has kind of moved away from the community. We really need another citizen or a group of citizens to step up and kind of take charge of that fireworks project throughout the year. When John Reese was here, I've seen he created a very detailed process. So this person is, if someone was to take on this duty, it's not starting from scratch. He outlined a very detailed process that has worked for several years in the past. And he and I guess am asking for anyone who's interested to step up and be part of helping us get that done. To step forward.
So this is just informational, you just need you need
I think there was a place for us.
a representative to sign that.
Yeah, I think, yes,
That could be,
whoever wants to be the fire chief said he will get the barge to the water, but he needs somebody to be the event organizer, a volunteer. And so if anybody wants to, and that can be anybody that wants to be.
What does that entail?
It's,
Like I said, has been created a multi-page process that John Reese has been following for several years. I believe it entails just making sure these permits are moving forward through the year, making sure that contracts with the barge owner are signed and created in a timely manner, making sure that we're preparing the barge and the other parts of the fireworks show in a efficient manner. just one of those things, like all events and fun things in the city, it takes some volunteers to make happen. And this is one that if we want to continue to have one of the best fireworks shows on the coast, we need our citizens to step up and help make those things happen.
So we don't need to decide that tonight or anything.
No.
Okay.
I think we might be the second we would sign the second endorsement because it's a land managing agency, federal, state, and local. So we might be there.
At this point, when see somebody steps up to want to do that, then been very nice.
Yeah.
Any worse? Okay, we'll move on then. We are at, it's been requested to be on the agenda, Susan Holland request for regarding cleaning of 10 Mile Creek.
Again, Susan Holland, 140 South Second Street. On April the 30th, 2025, last week, I had Christopher Clare from Oregon Department of Fish and Wildlife. He visited on site and viewed an extremely large 90-degree blockage in 10 Mile Creek. This blockage is in two sections in an area of approximately 100 foot and is accessible to view and to get to clean out from South Second Street. Chris indicated that this blockage, this large 90-degree blockage, must be removed in order to prevent increased seasonal flooding. I know that flooding is an important issue, not blocking things and making sure that nothing is flooding. This is an issue for me and other people in town, including my neighbors. I did run into Tom Miller the other day, and he indicated to me that the city has no intentions of clearing out the blockage and it wasn't ready. Chris has offered to help in June to come and cut up that really large log. If someone can come and help, we can organize from the city. We do have two organizations here that support a healthy eco-sort system and healthy waters. And I think that this is one of our waters that connects with our 10 Mile system. And I think that it would be pretty easy to come out there and get some water. Is pretty low right now, but in June, down. With the low water, it does stagnate over there, and the stagnation caused that cyanobacteria to go wild. I do have pictures of that. I do have a book that's about this thick and things that I've been researching. I have contacted every agency I need to contact. DEQ will not get involved because it is not oil or sewage. Okay, he said he did not hear what we do. DSL said that I am more than welcome to go over there and get out that blockage. Anybody can help. And they said that they will not interfere because we are not disrupting the roots on any tree. Things, this is a very large log. It's probably about this big around. I can walk across it. And it's pretty steep. But I'm asking for help. He's asking for help. And we are getting together a committee. I do have a couple of neighbors that will help. I would like help from the outside organizations. I didn't yet. I've tried to contact them for 4 years and helping me with other things with the creek. I'm not asking them to clean out the entire creek, just their little horseshoe. 100-foot section. Not a hard request. And I think that it would help with the lake, the quality of the lake. I think that it would help also with the quality of the creek. There's a salmon passage, so that's important too.
Sounds like you've got a good start on it.
I do.
Yeah, and I would continue to contact Mr. Mader from the TLBP and see if his crew is interested in having his crew help you.
I have tried to contact Mr. Mader for at least 4 years now, and he doesn't seem interested in answering my email, my phone call. Foreman pay,
Yes,
including Alan Whitney from PLA.
Have you contacted the Army Corps of Engineers?
Yes, ma'am, I have.
And what they say
They said they did not care if we get over there and clean it out.
about the state Marine Board?
I didn't know about State Marine Board.
Because it's navigable, that you should contact them too.
State Marine Board, yes, I can do that.
And then my, and of course, Mike Nader, because
He is definitely not interested in speaking with me.
yeah, the Army Corps of Engineers, if you do contact them, I would take them to the right.
State Marine, I can do that. I'll visit him again, yes, ma'am. I am going to go visit the Coos County Indians in person. I will take on my book. If you're interested in seeing the condition of the creek, like right now today, because the letter I submitted with paper is different. Wait a minute, you can see that it has sunk down. It is now where you can walk across it and you can see all the other things. This is not enough. It's gonna get down. It's not working.
you have a definite date set in June for this project?
Not definitely. I did send out an email to everybody involved in the city. He said that if we can get people together, then we can actually set a date. My husband is having hip surgery on May the 19th. We will not be available to help in any of this project until after June 2nd. So he is thinking probably late June.
May I?
July. Excuse me, July.
Yes. Mayor Wood?
Yes, ma'am.
I would like, I think if you're asking for help from the city council, I think having like a plan together and a cost associated and a price that you're asking and bring it to council and we can either approve or deny it, I think would be good instead of just, basing it off of everyone's opinions. If we had more of an outline plan to see, I think that would help.
Well, right now, we're not, there's not really anything involved other than time. Because he's gonna come, he's gonna bring his big old chainsaw and the time is gonna cut what he's cutting and doing in half. If someone can help cut. But he said once these big pieces are cut, they can actually be pushed down the creek to put off. So it's not like we gotta remove them or anything, they just need to be cut. Garbage come out of there and cut them up and then it'll get that back to the main.
Okay,
And
so
the one
he's helping with the project.
ODF Chris Clay. Fish and Wildlife.
Okay,
He's the one that said that he would be the leader if someone can come and help, and he wanted me to plead with the city to help.
so you need volunteers for time to help move the logs, or what does he need help with?
Reach out, and when he gets tired, someone can take over cutting off. It's pretty big.
Okay,
Big. And I can pass this around if you would like. I don't know if you can see it from there.
I think that's in our packet. Pictures?
this is
Yeah.
a different one. It's actually from the, yeah. So you can see how bad it's actually getting day to day. The more the water falls, the worse it gets.
I think most of us, I'm assuming that most of us support getting the creek cleaned out. I think the
Right.
challenge is that we don't have any authority over the TLA or the watershed to ask them to help you.
Right,
You know what I mean? We can encourage the public to work with you,
right.
and I'd be willing to say, hey, public, work with us, with these
Right.
folks and let's get that going.
Okay.
Beyond that, I'm not sure exactly what the council has any authority to do about.
Really changing right now to dunes, and it's going less from dunes, from fishing to dunes. We can all notice that going around. The cyanobacteria is not helping the fishing industry. It's not helping our fish, our salmon come up through there, our trout come up through there. And if our water is stagnated and stopped, nothing's coming.
I don't question any of that. What I question is council's authority over that creek.
I'm just asking for help.
No, I get it, and that's why I'll again say, please, public, work with whoever be. But us as a board don't have a lot of authority.
Adam, it actually is in city limits.
I understand that, but all the agencies that have been discussed here
Right.
have much more authority over the creek than we do. as
Well,
a-
they're telling me that they're not gonna come clean it out because it's something really tiny and that we can handle it as a city. The only thing that's willing to come help is fish and wildlife. And yes, I've been doing it this for 4 years.
I
We've had different blockages and those different blockages are getting worse. It's collecting more and more and more at the same blockage.
Well, that's why I would contact the state marine board, because they may help with something, because it's a waterway.
Okay, I can do that. I can contact them. Yeah, they're the only ones I have not contacted. I'll speak with Chris too, because he doesn't have.
If nothing else, bringing the awareness, I think is nice, way everybody knows. If people want to volunteer, I think that's great.
Yeah, he has the call, he has the time. He's willing to give us a half a day. Anybody willing to come over there and help, maybe give him a break and take over the saw and cut some more, because I can show you that. You can walk right across it. You can get to it. You need a boat. You don't need a tractor to pull it out. All he wants to do is cut it up and get rid of it. He said it can float down and go away. This will keep us from flooding. He said it's possible we could flood another foot from this.
If you just cut it out and let it go downstream, it's just gonna go to the next one and plug up more.
This is ODF, I don't know. Well, I know that the city has a very large tractor and some of those pumps are pretty large. They need a large tractor to pull them out.
Get a date, if you can get nailed down a date, would be good, and then people can possibly help.
I can do that.
Yeah.
Yeah, they can have the wood. I don't care. I mean, it's a nice wood. I'm just telling you. You make a dog wood. I mean, yes, as long as we do not disturb the trees that are on the side, we are allowed to cut whatever's hanging out that's keeping it off. As long as we don't disturb the roots. Can't disturb the side.
If you could write all that down in a plan and, get a date nailed down and
I can do that.
see who's interested in helping. Yeah.
I'll be interested. Hey, help.
Yeah.
Okay.
We don't have a city Facebook page, but I'm sure most of us counselors will spread the word for us.
Perfect. Perfect.
Okay, thank you.
No, I'm not on Facebook anymore. Also try the recycle. Yeah. If you're gonna do it later, it should.
I think they're
Yeah.
broke.
Yeah. Yeah, the whole thing.
It's so old, but
Yeah. I can do. Laytonian. What is her name? Queen Valor. I can get her whole thing off of that.
Yeah, there's one out on the desk out there.
Perfect,
Thank you, Susan.
perfect. Thank you very much.
Okay. To item 21.
I can elaborate on this if you'd like.
Yes, go ahead, Mayor.
I got this email from Gary Lewis. And I wanted to put it on the agenda for him because staff asked him to come before council to split the sewer bill because she didn't. When Michelle was doing audits, she found out that he had not been connected to sewer. So if you guys read his letter, he had requested that we start the billing in January 2025. And then he'll pay that back amount with no late fees. Then below it from staff, they request that the city just splits the bill. So we needed to decide what we wanted to do about the situation.
The back page is from staff, second page. It was the audit. She included the audit, I believe. And so, what happened is he purchased this house. He came in there, whenever there's a house being sold or well, usually being sold, we get a request from the title company for a lien search. So they did that. They sent in the lien search, and then the clerk at the time closed the account. So, which is not the usual practice, but they closed the account. So when he came to town, he went over and he signed up for water, not knowing that there's two places to pay the bill. So he didn't know that and it didn't get caught because it was turned off. So how we catch things like this is we would have saw, wait a minute, he owes $2,000 or whatever. And then we could have contacted him but that didn't happen. So, he actually came into the office and he told us, and he came in and said, hey, my neighbor said I'm supposed to be paying for sewer. And that's how I got it. And so the figure at that time was probably 2 years times $76 or whatever I don't know what it.
I mean, well, I went back from January 22nd to July 22nd, bills were $55.
Oh, okay.
And from July 22nd to July 23rd, it was $65.89. July 23rd to July 24th was $72.48, and now it's $76.
Okay.
So I came up with $3,004.44.
Okay. And so you're probably correct. I don't know exactly how. I wasn't over there doing the figuring. It's just I just overheard the conversation and went and did a little bit of research to find out what happened. It's like, oh, the account shut off. That's why he never got a bill.
I have down currently that he paid March and April. His bill was $2,852.
So yeah, he started paying, and then we can't, as staff, we can't reduce somebody's bill. So it has to be through the council, and we have code for that, saying that if there's a question on your billing, then you have to bring it to council. And so whatever, I don't know what the figure is, because I didn't do that part.
So what I'm hearing is that staff, there was a mistake.
It was a
made by
mistake.
staff, and the citizen came in voluntarily and reported themselves. I mean, I know it's a big number, but I'd be in favor of acknowledging the staff mistake and us moving forward from the beginning of the year.
And as much as it would be nice to do, I don't think we can accept that. And there will be other people. I can see absolutely waiting. I mean, that's not an issue. The city is dire need, and we have to be good stewards. So we can't just write off $2,852. Now you have to decide on that. But I mean, it's just, you can't just write it off. It's an asset of the city. We need money. I think that we should work with them, put them on any type of payment plan, all that. Once you start waiving fees, you waive them then for the next person coming in.
Councilor Ward?
situation where this person never received a bill for no fault of their own, rising from the city staff. And so the precedent that would be set is that you don't hold people accountable for things that city staff.
Right.
It's way different than somebody who just didn't pay their bill for a couple of years. And came in and said,
40 some people that this might have happened to, and so we're gonna be waiving all of them.
this happens every week.
It's a city mistake, as much as we need the money. The city made the mistake. I don't see how we put that fault on the property.
I just don't feel that we can waive the whole thing. That's just my opinion. Whether give them, 20-30% discount or something like that.
May I?
Yeah, Mayor, yes, go ahead.
So Elaine's saying the actual figures, if you're prorating the sewer amount to what it was in the past, be around $2,800, correct, Elaine? So, even if we granted what staff asked for and we cut it in half, that's around $1,500. Personally, I think that's still a lot of money in this day and age for someone, and if it was no fault of his own, I say we, cut that in half or cut the whole bill in fourths and, meet in the middle there with him. I think starting it in January 2025 is a little late since he's owned the house for 3 years. But I also don't feel like sticking him with the half of the bill is appropriate. It's just my 2 cents.
We need a motion here. That's what we're-
The recommendation from the utility billing staff is that city and Mr. Lewis split the bill and Mr. Lewis pays the late fee. The question is, what is the actual amount of it? You say it's 20,
He came in January of 2022, the bill was $55 a month.
what's the bottom line? 28.
And that's without late fee.
That's the topic.
20 to 12, yes.
And he agreed that he doesn't mind paying some.
He's in agreement to pay half of that plus the late fee, correct?
Yeah.
Yeah,
No,
no, just half of
he's
it.
asking to start in January. Take longer.
That's.
Oh, is that what he said?
Would the council be amenable to a motion that at a minimum says that he's not responsible for the late fees? Can we all agree to that part? And then we can continue to discuss.
Are you making that?
I will. I move that the council agree to not charge this gentleman any late fees associated with this situation.
Okay, motion's been made by Councilor Hand and seconded by Councilor Pointer to waive late fee on this matter. Any other discussion? All for votes, all in favor?
I,
Aye.
I,
Opposed? None? Okay, motion passes that there will be no late.
And then going forward on the rest of it. I've heard Elaine out and heard the mayor out. I still believe that this gentleman is at no fault. And I will move that we waive the fee. Anything before January of this year.
Motion's been made by Councilor Hand, seconded by Councilor Ward to waive any fees prior to January 2025, is that correct?
Correct.
Any discussion?
So then you would just pay January and February, pay March and.
Doesn't that reduce the bill to like $150? For 2 months? Or 3 months it would be then?
Yeah, 152.
Yeah.
Just not heard anything here that says that the property owner made a mistake. And when it sounds like the moment they found out that they needed to pay, they came in here and voluntarily opened the door. And that's what we can ask of any citizen.
No, that makes me, there's no way I'd be.
That amount
There's no way,
would ruin my budget.
yeah. To take a loan out.
The city has worked with other people.
But that was usually there when they had some fault in the matter, right? I think that's a solid precedent. If the city makes a mistake, we don't correct the mistake on the back.
On that note, Counselor Han, sorry if I cut anyone off. Can I speak?
No, that's fine.
Yeah,
Okay. I do think it does set a good precedence that, hopefully if someone does know that they're not signed up for sewer now, and the word's out, that they will come in and they won't get tacked with a big bill like that. So hopefully moving forward, people will see that, you know, if you're coming in and you're willing to be honest and say, I didn't have an account, that council's willing to work with you, so. There's that positive.
We just have to have this trust with the community and. I think it's a very-
What's the city's policy for identifying home sales?
I think Sharon just told us that anytime a property transacts, you get a request to make sure there's no city liens.
Yes.
From the title.
And there was no lien in this case because of a staff mistake.
Well, the lien, what they're looking for is, what we give them is how much they owe in a sewer bill that month. Or sometimes the houses have been there for years and you give them the whole thing, but so that's all they're asking for from us, is that we know it's going up for sale. As soon as we get that lien search request, and we just tell them how much the sewer bill is.
And when that happened, you gave them.
Yeah, and no, we would have said if there was like $76 owing or whatever. So they wrote that and they sent it back to them. The title company sent us the $76. They don't collect it they collect that amount in escrow. And so then they send it to us as in a check. So we would have received a check from the title company, most likely. Or we would have known that there's a zero amount, and then you put them in a file, and then you know that you're supposed to keep track of what title or lien search requests you have received. And we checked we did our research to make sure that we weren't, we did the research to make sure that the title company did in fact send us the lien search, and they said that they did. And this is after he came in. So we made sure that Michelle and I made sure that the title company had in fact sent us a lien request, and they said that they had, and that we did return it. And so, but the account got shut off, and no bills were being sent.
Isn't there a city application process?
Well, we would have had an application, but they went to the water department, he did, And then he didn't come over here because he didn't know that there was a sewer department also. And yeah, that was a mistake on the homeowner. Yeah. And
And possibly what, if you can contact the water district, if they have come in to say, I have a new place, I want to, sign up for water. Perhaps they can have it within their thing. Okay, once you finish signing up for water, you need to come across the street to sign up for sewer.
well, we do that. I mean,
Evidently, it isn't.
well, no, but I mean, we try to do with each other is if somebody comes in with an application for us, we always say, now you have to go over to the water department and fill out an application with them. It's just like as a.
Fair, when I bought my house, I didn't know that I didn't pay my sewer bill in like 5 months. And I came from Reachport where there's one.
Yeah.
Most places it's all one. Very confusing.
But if you've got to. But that's what I'm saying is contact the water district.
Well, but what we could do.
Okay, hold on. Hold on.
Yeah.
We're getting sidetracked. So the question is, what are we gonna do?
Well, we have.
We do have a motion, yes, we do. And it's seconded, this is the discussion.
I still think we should go back farther than, oh, sorry.
Go ahead.
I still think we should go back farther than January 2025. I mean, at least 6 months. That's reducing it down to, $150 or something is, that's just my opinion, but.
Well, we have a motion on the table that's been seconded and we need to vote on it.
Okay.
So the motion is that we just bill back to January 2025.
Okay.
Call for a vote. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. All opposed?
Nay.
3
4.
to
3 to 4.
4. Motion passes. Okay. Item 23, Lakeside business owner requesting city council to approve TLC funding for 2025 community events.
If you may, before you start, being a very active member of the LBO, I think it's best that I just step out of this conversation.
Also, before we start, if I may, due to a possible conflict of interest, I'm going to step out of the conversation as well.
Just do it, people.
Paul Harnum. I'm a Lakeside resident and LPO member. Hello, and thank you for the opportunity to speak to you guys this evening. For 3 years now, the LBO has been organizing and managing a variety of community events. These events have been successful in attracting visitors to Lakeside, as well as providing great experiences for the residents of the city. As you know, events like these require many hours of work to make them successful. Lakeside business owners and our great community are happy to volunteer our time, but we need help financially to ensure these events remain in place to attract tourists. We are here tonight to request TLC funds. 100% of the TLC are collected from tourists and visitors who spend nights at our lodges, campgrounds, and other short-term rentals. Local citizens do not contribute to TLC unless they happen to spend the night at one of these local businesses. We are asking for $9,000 to help with some of the expenses on our 4 events this year. I appreciate your time and consideration. We all want Lakeside to be the very best that it can be. Thanks again.
Thank you, Paul.
What's the name of your business?
Sire Power Sports.
Okay.
We've all got a breakdown of the costs here in your request, total request for $9,000, Brad.
That is correct.
And that's for the total of 4 events: the Experience Lakeside, 4th of July, Lakeside Vintage, and the Million Lights.
That is correct.
There, the resolution when you came last year, the 24-1. We did the resolution that was done with you. We're still, I believe, and I've mentioned to Adam that we're waiting for the Million Light of Lakeside accounting.
Okay.
We haven't received that yet. And the resolution said that before money was given, the event has to have a accounting.
Yeah.
So I mentioned that to your treasurer or one of it in town.
Yeah. And I will make sure I reach out to our treasurer so we can get those over to you.
We'll be able to provide that, Monday. Hopefully it's ready for, 2025 funds.
And I think that it's important that we do another resolution that was approved, let's see it, where that before the one funds are given, you have the event and then there is an accounting and then the next one.
That's what this one says.
Yeah, I put that one for 24-1.
We need to review this every year.
But I just.
Oh.
just want to show that. And then, have you done the event permit?
The event permit was being finalized this evening, so it should be the work for Monday.
And then you have proof of insurance.
That's correct. We have all that.
And this is so important that we do this, but we do it correctly because the fund, as Adam knows, we were talking at the last budget here. With the previous hire. Not here person. You know, is this going to eventually your events become self-supporting?
We are hoping so. We have this year $3,500 in sponsors for the Experience Lakeside events. So as we attract more visitors, it also makes businesses interested in sponsoring the event because it gets their name out there as well. So we're just putting this together, but our initial is $3,500 through sponsorship for this first event.
So hopefully, before the tourist fund runs out of money, you'll be able to.
More we attract more tourists, bring more funds in, and then it's continuous.
Yes, that's the point I made, that is the tourist, the transient lodging tax is generated by businesses. And so the city reinvesting those funds in these events to attract tourists and revitalize the city and stimulate the economy, so.
Absolutely, I think everybody here agrees with that, but just coming off a budget meeting where we're doing 15% or 14 point something of the tourist transit fund is going to the Fund 5, which is the tourist fund. And then we're spending, $35,000 for fireworks. That fund is going to be depleted in a year and a half, 2 years, and that's my concern. So I think it's great that you're doing it. And I think that I hope it will build up faster than that, but I'm just worried. I'm losing sleep over the budget, as you guys all know. What do I do?
Could I see that resolution? Can we approve this request for funds with a contingency of for the resolution?
I will make a push at that we.
Well, I call it the question.
Counting Million Lights.
That was my question. I had given. Can we do that approval with the contingency fee that they're gonna come up with? Yes, I agree. Okay.
But this way you can keep on planning because it's set for next month. So I move that we authorize based on you doing the Million Lights accounting, you submit your event permit with proof of insurance, $3,800 to the Lakeside business owners. And then any future events, once you file the accounting, you can go back to the council.
Thank you.
So,
Was that a motion?
That was I move.
that means that you're only including a one, I'm sorry, I'm just. For the. Okay. LVO.
Oh, my motion. I move that we contingent on the accounting for the Million Lights accounting event permit submitted with proof of insurance and any other forms on the event permit required, that the city will authorize and give you the $3,800 for the Experience Lakeside event. And at that time, you can come back and we'll have a resolution for the rest.
So the next event, following up that is the 4th of July
Yes,
event. So timing wise, I'm a little concerned with timing. Though.
well, in June,
June 20, June 14th.
yeah. So, but I mean, you come back in June, our next council meeting, we can have the resolution, but it will be like the one you signed before. That you get the funds once authorized expenditure, ELT funds for Experience Lakeside. And then upon receipt of a completed budget for this event, and we authorize the next one. That's what you find in the other.
I'll second that. Any more discussion? Call for a vote, all in favor? Aye. All opposed?
For Bowenstein, she's only 10%.
Okay, motion passes.
Oh, there she is.
Oh, did you be able to hear that and vote?
She can't.
Oh, never mind, you're gone, you're not here. Okay, go to, committee reports.
Before we.
Sorry.
I'm sorry. Before we have a committee report, unless I'm part of that. I was wondering if we could set a work session. If you want to set a work session for those things that we removed tonight.
Thank you for that.
And also to set a special meeting for the update, for the hearing for the fee increases. Because I have to get them to the BCD or the, well, it's called BCD, but the Board of Building Code Division, I had it written somewhere. Yes, because we're gonna be going live in our e-permitting on June 4th.
Oh.
So if we could do it sometime in May.
Need that special meeting then.
Yeah, so we need our work session to go over the fees, then we
Okay.
need the special meeting, if it's okay with you guys. I hate to, I just found out about this today from the BCD,
Okay.
and
Does it make sense to maybe do that special meeting quickly before a budget meeting, since we're all gonna be here
On the 12th.
on Monday?
well, we first have to have the work session because you guys want to go over the fees.
Mhm.
Sorry.
Can we do a work session followed by a special meeting so we don't take up 2 days?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh. It's up to you guys.
So how long do we need to notice that?
So
What's the
Well-
soonest we could do a work session?
Alan,
Notification.
what is the notification? We can, it's 24, is it 48 hours? 48 hours. And,
I can do
Okay.
Monday.
And
And
Is there a budget?
Oh,
it's the 12th. Yeah.
Third, next day, 13?
Our budget meeting, I'm sorry, but our budget meeting is that, we're not ready for the hearing, right? Oh, does she? Okay. Okay. She's been working so hard, on the budget. Really, she needs a big bouquet.
mhm.
Oh, okay. Okay, so whatever your guys' schedule. Sorry.
Would Tuesday work for work day.
And all we're gonna do is the piece.
We're gonna do the fee schedule, yes, unless you had something else that came up tonight that you wanted to add, I don't know. Was there anything else that you,
Was there a reason we couldn't do it on Monday while we're all already here? Is that a timing factor?
If you go over, I mean. Yeah, I mean, we can do it, but if at 6 o'clock you have the budget, so what time do you want to have? You know, then how long do you go to a special meeting? And then go to the budget?
I understand that concern. I just didn't.
well, you could have it, yeah, you could start at 5 and then you could do that and it's not
Do we feel like we can do that in an hour?
go over the
I-
fees.
Go ahead, Mayor.
I would prefer to just knock it out all in one day. I don't know my work schedule for next week yet, and I want to make sure that I'm there for it. I don't know about you guys, but I mean, even if we schedule it at 4 on Monday, and that gives us 2 hours, 1 hour for a work session, and 1 hour for special meeting, which I don't think we would need that long for a special meeting.
works for me.
Yeah,
The fees are they only went up like 3% or something, but we had to raise them because it's been a really long time since we've had a fee increase for building, it's building fees. Is all. Strictly building. I forget, I think not, the what we used a template to fill it out. And so and it was approved by BCD already. And then you can see in the one I provided tonight, the corrected one, that was the letter that I sent to BCD with that attached. BCD approved it, so it's been approved. It's just us, the increases, it's up to us to accept them or not. Well, I think you do, right? You have to have a public hearing whenever there's a fee increase. Isn't that the
Just a matter of giving the public the opportunity to speak,
Mhm.
and then us during a special meeting approve. Yep. Feel like we can do that in an hour.
5 o'clock.
Okay.
Monday, is that what everybody's thinking?
Works for me.
Yep.
5 o'clock Monday, the 12th. Special meeting.
Yeah.
Okay.
But when was the work session?
Well, we haven't got there yet.
So the work session was before the special meeting.
Yeah.
Oh, and we can just do it all at one time.
Yeah.
Special meeting and the hearing, in that hour. What do you think?
Okay,
Okay.
Mhm.
that work, Vicky?
Yeah, that works for me. Yeah.
5 o'clock Monday, 12th. Work session and special meeting.
Sounds good.
Okay. Now, to committee reports. Airport. Nobody. Watershed, there's no meeting. Water district. Nothing planned.
Next week.
Okay. TLA,
ELA hasn't met since our last regular meeting. Their next meeting. 4, 5.
fire district.
That also.
That's a hand, LBO.
Last night we had a very spirited meeting at Osprey Point with about 10 or 12 local volunteers. The vast majority of the details of the event were dialed in, including the last parts that we needed for our permit application and all those things. As was mentioned by others tonight, I think the plan is to get all that dialed in and to the city by Monday. Beyond that, we just want to invite the public, if anybody is interested in helping us pull off these events, please come and say hello and show us what you can do.
Code enforcement, you have anything, Ms. Mayor?
I kind of do. I got an email from a concerned citizen about the trailers parked by the church, and I was telling him kind of, he's new to town, and I was telling him kind of the history of what's going on here and what we're struggling with. And I did mention that we wanted to eventually get a volunteer code enforcement officer. He said he would love to do that job. He said he has he's involved with the checked by the CIA for his background, and he's a 6'4", 250-pound guy. Would love to help us, not afraid of talking to people. I don't know if I got in, I don't know if I got anything back from you, Sharon, or if I asked you over the phone, but talking about the insurance with where we kind of left off with all that. So I'm kind of following up, and we'll be talking to our insurance. So maybe we might have a volunteer code enforcement officer, hopefully soon if it's approved by insurance. And I did want to maybe, instead of code enforcement, if the committee that we made last meeting about our interim city manager, if maybe they had an update for us. Sorry, I can't hear anything.
Scheduled to meet tomorrow at 10.
Okay, got it.
That all on code enforcement?
Yeah.
Mayor? Okay. We're going to the senior board. Councilor Armstrong.
They meet next week, but their senior breakfast is this Saturday.
Library board.
Their meeting was last month. They meet every other month.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay, council mayor comments? Councilor Poyer, you want to start?
I really have, nothing other than thanks everyone for showing up and listening to us.
Councilor Ward?
Thanks for showing up.
Yeah, I have nothing, just as thank you to the LPO for all the work they're doing and looking forward to that event.
And
I think I've said plenty.
Councilor Hart?
Last week was the LOC conference at the casino. So I attended Thursday and Friday. Lots of good learning stuff that we did. Thursday, we had our ATV tour. We started at Sire Power Sports and went out to the beach and back. We had 45 people from the conference, mayors, councilors, and city managers from around the state. They all came out. They had a wonderful time, blown away by how beautiful it is here. And a lot of them plan on coming back. So that's really exciting. That helps towards TLT and the community in general. I took a code enforcement class on Friday morning, and I got some good ideas, some different handouts that were given to me with some different like door tags and ideas other cities do. Haven't got to talk to Nikki about it yet because she's been gone. But yeah, it was really a productive conference.
Sharon, did you want to say something?
I did, but it's hard to follow that. That was also too happy. It sounds so much fun. So I just wanted everyone to know we got our new heaters and air conditioners in. They're not hooked up yet, but they're in. The ARPA funds were appropriated and it's been, they were all that we pushed the button. We had some help and we got it all figured out. The CARES Act funds, the invoices were uploaded into the portal and we're just waiting to hear back from them. We've had the multiple budget meetings, and then I've been working with the BCD Building Code Division. That's where I had it written. And so, our go live date for e-permitting is June 4th. So I've been still on the phone with them doing that. The wastewater contract for the new plant was signed by our Councilor Miller, and so we're going to be having a groundbreaking. We're going to actually have a ceremony for the groundbreaking for the new wastewater for the beginning of the construction in a week or so. I'm not exactly sure when. And then, so that's what I have, and I'm excited about those.
I have something to say. Back to the cleanup, the log jam, that's on city property. If anybody thought about the liability, who's putting up the bond for insurance, if somebody.
We're gonna check, that was discussed about checking with volunteers and insurance.
Yeah, somebody's gotta have insurance.
Mhm.
Madam Mayor, did you have a comment?
Yes, I have a few things to say. One, I apologize. I'm sitting in the room here and kind of been bouncing back and forth. I got my son out there, so I've been trying to do my best. But I did want to update everyone. I have about before Krista had left, she had told us about we need to find the additional funds for the wastewater treatment plant. I've been in touch with the lady from Business Oregon, and we're getting in touch with her senior financial advisor planner from Business Oregon, and we're going to have a meeting to see how we can best proceed and get the figures together to see what avenues we have going forward. I'll get some more information, and then if we need to come to council with that information, we will have plenty of meetings to discuss where we're going with that. Also, thank you, Nikki, for talking about the LOC conference and the ATV tour. It was very successful. I want to thank all the volunteers that helped and showed everyone what an amazing town we have. Also, I really, really, really want to thank Peggy Dickinson and Counselor Armstrong and Sharon and Michelle for getting the budget together. I don't think it would have been possible without their help. So it's amazing to see how they all came together to help the community with that. Looks like there's a full house in there, so thank you all for coming.
There was.
And, Sharon kind of stole my thunder on the contract side.
Keep going. I was hoping you
Again,
would say it first.
Appreciate all the people that have stepped up. Peggy and Councilor Armstrong and everybody else that's been, I've seen faces. Stepping up, especially in the absence. Michelle. Anyway, that's it, and I'll adjourn this meeting at 7:42.